So this is an evaluation on a Tennessee Walker that we just got in. A couple weeks ago, we donated 2 weeks training time to a benefit for some really good people that got into a hell of a plane wreck and lost a couple of members of their family. And if I could remember their name, I darn sure would. If you watch this and you know who they are, comment their name. They were good people. Anyway, so we donated 2 weeks of training, and the lady who won the bid, this is her horse, and I'm terrible with names, so I don't know her name either. I do know this. A really good friend of mine is who's riding this horse. This is a nice horse. Nice horse to ride. When they dropped the horse off, she gave me a little short list of things that kind of bothered her some. And it's no reflection on anybody or anything other than horse is a little pushy. And the lady that owns this horse just had a back surgery, and a pushy horse is maybe not too much fun. It gets in and out of the horse trailer really good, but it doesn't like to get in the living quarters. And I imagine it's because the living quarters trailer is narrow. It's only half of the opening in the back. So it doesn't like to get in and out of that. I watched it come out of the trailer that she brought it in, and it has a lot of trouble waiting. It doesn't have too much patience. And you can see how I'm playing back and forth with it here. It doesn't recognize personal space too good, and I speak from experience. When your back's hurting, you kind of don't want them bumping into you and knocking you around, even if your back's not hurting. But what I'm noticing so far is the horse isn't paying attention. Its attention span's pretty small, and it needs to be, when you do pick up on it and back it out of your space, as soon as you let go, it's on to other things. So what we're going to do, the plan I'm putting together here is, I would really like it if this horse stayed where I put it, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I'm going to see, I'm pretty sure that this horse ain't worried about the flag, because I know the girl that's riding this horse, and she's really, really handy. So we're going to use this. I'm going to rub this horse all over with this. I am not going to attack him, but I am going to use it to extend my personal space from this long to this long. And this horse is going to learn to stay out there and be just as happy out there as it is up here. Left and right means back up, a couple steps, and give it a pet. And I'm going to do this over and over until that horse quits creeping on me. Left and right. 1. I need 2 steps. Pet. The first step changes their mind from forward to backward, and the second step is for practice. So if I could teach this horse to pay attention to me and not creep on me, there's a pretty good chance that the trailer loading and the patience and everything else will take care of itself. But patience in a horse is a learned behavior, unless it's food. See how that horse is standing there? I'm going to leave it completely alone. Now it's creeping on me again. I'm going to irritate it. I'm not going to beat it up. 2 steps, give it a pet. If it wants petted, it just doubled my space. Now when it looks away, I'm going to bring its attention back to me, but I don't want its feet to move. When its attention comes back to me, I'm going to pet it. We got to cultivate the behaviors that we want to continue and discourage the behaviors we don't. Already in just a short amount of time, we've got this horse standing still and it's not pushing on us. Sometimes just adjusting the parameters and then being consistent for a few days. I got 2 weeks to work on this. I'm not going to work on the horse trailer today. I probably won't work on the horse trailer until next week. What I am going to work on today is you stay over there, I pet you, and I leave you alone. Left and right. 1, 2. Give him a pet. And just leave him alone. Seems like a very simple thing. But it seems to me like she mentioned the horse doesn't like to be tied up either too much. I could be reading that wrong, but we'll work on that. We'll tie this horse up here in a minute. And all I'm going to do with this horse is when it's standing still, I'm going to pet it. It's got a really active, curious mind, and there's nothing wrong with that. Get it over here where you can see it. When I stop, it should stop. So when I stopped moving my feet and it kept walking, it's not paying attention to me too good. But once again, I'm not beating it up. I'm just putting a little sandpaper on a behavior, smoothing it up. When it's standing still, I'm going to pet it. And I know it likes to be petted. We're going to show it that if it stands still, I'll give it all the petting it can stand. I'll bring it over here. I'm going to yield that hindquarters. And I stop. It needs to stop when I stop. Simple. Give it a pet. And I don't want it to move unless I ask it to. And the more it practices paying attention to me, the less the outside world will influence its behavior. If this horse learns to trust me and stand still next to me and not touch me, I think it'll trust me more when it's under saddle. And until we start working on until we get this pretty good, where I ask it to move and it moves, when I ask it to stand still, it stands still, there ain't much sense in working on the trailer. That's why this first week, we're mostly gonna work on pay attention to me and stand still and not touch me. Real simple. This doesn't mean anything unless I want it to. Every time that horse takes a step forward, I'm just gonna quit and back it up. Not all of these things are hard as long as you think about what you're trying to get done. If you think before you do, a lot of times the things you do are really, really simple. And like I said, this is a really nice horse. And the list of things that bothered the lady a little bit is really, really small. The girl riding this horse is doing a ripping good job. And I just want old Blackie here to just stand and take the pats. And that's about the whole first week that we're going to work with this horse is on just that. If I walk around here, the horse needs to stay where I put it, mentally, physically, and emotionally. It doesn't need to be constantly touched and rubbed on to get comfort. It has to learn to get comfort from inside. It needs to be its own best friend. So every day when we catch it, we take it out of a stall or we put it in a stall. We're going to make it wait for us. It's too close again. It's pet. Now we're gonna, when I stop, it needs to stop. There, give it a pet. Now we're going to check out how it ties. So I'm going to spin this way. Take it over here. Put it in a slip ring that I got here. Bring it over here, yield its hindquarters. And pet it. And that behavior right there, chewing on that rope and those snaps and stuff, I don't really care. If I have to buy a new lead rope, I have to buy a new lead rope. I would rather have a horse fiddling around like that than pulling back and being in trouble. But you can see how active its mind is. It doesn't know how to relax. Not as good as I'd like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off of here and I'm going to move it around in a circle and relax it. So we're going to move it get a whole circle out of it. I want it to go forward off my leg right there. I'm going to get a whole circle. Now I'm just going to relax it. There. And I'm going to give it a pat. We do this side. There we go. I just want one circle to get some movement going. Now I'm going to stop it. Pet it. Good boy. Now we're going to do one more thing that we're going to check today. Is I'm going to set that up over there, and I'm going to make this horse go in that stall, but we're going to let this horse wait for us. I need it to pay attention to me. We can't help it if it doesn't know we exist. It needs to back up and not just flounder around through here. Now we're going to do a step at a time. We're going to do a step and stop it. Pet it. Doesn't get to rub all over things. It just needs to relax. Another step. Now we can wait. And I'll pet it. There. Pet. Lots of pets. It doesn't take a step unless I ask it to. Patience. Another step. Stop. Wait. Pet it. Now I'll go ahead and send it on in. And I'll take this off. Now that pretty much touched on everything that was on her list, and it also helped me figure out a lesson plan to help this horse with its attention span. It's just a young horse, and everything that we practice we get good at, and it needs to practice being patient. It needs to practice following a feel, reading my intentions. It needs to practice patience. And those things we're going to basically work on before we address the horse trailer. And if we get this horse to where it'll follow a feel and go where we point, where our intentions are, we'll get this horse to go forward or stop when we ask it to, and not have it flounder along 2 or 3 extra steps. That's kind of the key. If we ask it to stop, we don't want it to do anything but stop. If we ask it to go, we don't want it to wait a long time before it goes. But we're not talking, these are not major things unless you make them a major thing. All I'm going to do is just make the things that it already has just better. And it'll take me about a week working on this before that old horse will stay with me wherever I go. Got my lip split open the other day. the top just came open or off. So all is good in Whoville. And then the last week, we'll continue with the same exercises. Go when I go, stop when I stop. Don't touch me, don't rub on me, pay attention to me. But we'll incorporate that into going in and out of the trailer. The living quarters trailer with the narrow back. And by the end of 2 weeks, we ought to have this horse kind of paying attention to us all the time and not just part of the time. I hate to be holding on to them to get their attention. I'd like for them to just give me their attention, you know. And anyway, that's the lesson plan for this one. When you evaluate horses, you kind of build a lesson plan for a horse. And every one of them are different. And so the lesson plans, even though the exercises and the principles remain the same, they're for different reasons. And how we apply them has a lot to do with our intentions. If you're getting anything out of these videos, if you're watching them on YouTube, I would really, really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Doesn't cost nothing. Videos are free. But if you subscribe, it's easier to find a specific video. If you're watching these on Facebook, I would really appreciate it if you'd follow me on Facebook, Butch Mowdy. My YouTube channel is Equine Kindergarten. And hit like. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit like, that's really important. That really does a lot of good. And hit like and share. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Bye.